sheep, the real black sheep. I'm the black sheep, the real black sheep.
Welcome. Welcome to Black Sheep Theory. My name is Marcellus, and let's just get right into it, right? So I want to discuss something I find very interesting. Let me get this all squared up for you real quick. Let a couple more people come in here. So we have, all right, a couple more people falling in still. So we have, there was a story on, they did a video on Democracy Now! Sanders surrogate Cornel West versus Bloomberg co-chair Bobby Rush, former Black Panther debate. And I had to do this story. It's, man, I was like, what in hell's kitchen is going on with this dude, this former Black Panther? So let's start it up from here, actually. I think this would be the best spot to start. Let's do it. So Bobby Lee Rush, born November 23rd, 1946, was an American politician, activist, pastor, and the U.S. representative for Illinois' first congressional district, serving in Congress for more than 2 decades. He also co-founded the Illinois chapter of the Black Panthers Party, and was first elected in 1992. Just giving you some background on this guy right here. He's now co-chair in Bloomberg's campaign, which is crazy, man. Let's just get into it right now. I'm gonna start this video up. Y'all can get a good look at what his arguments are. So basically, this is done on Democracy Now! If you haven't checked them out. Oh, before I get started on that, man, make sure y'all go check out Mikasa Sukasa with Nico House. He is, hold on. There we go. Check out Mikasa Sukasa, Nico House, man. I'm part of the network now. Just did an interview over there not too long ago, and yeah, man, you find him on Twitter at Nico CSFB, on IG at Nico MCSC, YouTube MCSC Network with Nico House, and like I said, man, he does some real good work over there, and make sure you go to the channel, like, subscribe, support Black businesses. Especially ones doing politics, man. It's not a lot of us, not a whole lot of us doing it, So I think he does a really good job, has some really good perspectives, and I'm part of the network now, so you can find me there too, right? So back to where I was going. So yeah, man, this guy Bobby Lee Rush is debating Dr. Cornel West. Full disclosure, I am a massive Cornel West fan. I think Dr. Cornel West, excuse me. I think, man, he's a really smart guy, and he's one of those people that we in the community need to do more should give him his roses more. We should elevate him more, because he is genuinely doing the Lord's work out there, man. Like, seriously, he was fighting for me before I even realized I need to fight for myself, man. And that means the world to me, man. So, well, let's get into it, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
Better schools, better homes. I think that Mike Bloomberg is the candidate and will be as president. He'll be the one that will make sure that African American communities thrive. I sit in my...
Yeah, so I know it's hard to understand this, man. By the way, hey, Carol, love you. I see you, girl. Miss you. Carol's my sister, man. She's showing me mad love on here. I appreciate it. But yeah, so it's hard to understand this, man. I have to completely agree, but try and get through what he's saying, because I think it's a lot. There's a lot there. There's a lot there, and we can get into. So let's do it.
My own city of Chicago. At one time, there were 9 black-owned banks in the city of Chicago. Today, there is only 1. Across the nation, only 23 black-owned banks in this country. That is horrible. How can we ever get our fair share of the economic pie without having access to banks and access to capital? That's just one of the things that Michael Bloomberg stands for. He's
basically saying that Bloomberg supports, if you can't, because it's hard to understand him, I agree, but he's saying that, you know, there's not very many black-owned banks, if any, at all right now, which I don't disagree with anything he's saying, except for when he just got to this last part, which is he's saying Bloomberg said has committed to opening black banks, but even the framing of that sounds interesting to me. Sounds real weird, man. Like I don't know, man. I think we should keep that within the community. I think people with the money in the community should be the ones to start these and run these black-owned businesses. I don't want any ties to anybody like Bloomberg, and we're going to get into his record in a second. But first, let's just listen to his advocacy for Bloomberg, which I think it has a lot. There's a lot of meat here with in regards to the classism within our community that I try to shed a light on. It's pretty ridiculous. Carol said, he sounds like me when I talk in my sleep. No, I feel you, bro. That's wrong. I'm sorry. He's just old, man. He's just old. You know what I mean? Like in his defense, if you've ever heard Noam Chomsky talk, bro, I can't understand nothing Noam be saying. You know what I mean? Check him out too. Noam Chomsky is a really smart guy. He wrote what was the name of this book? I'm blanking right now. I'm so sorry. Manufacturing Consent. Noam Chomsky. It is really good. And I think this is crazy. He sounds just like him, but with, you know, a little bit more of like a Southern drawl, right? So let's keep going.
Promise that he will create 1 million new black homeowners. The wealth in the African American community is $17,000. The wealth in the white community is $117,000, 10 to 1. And what is that?
So the wealth gap from white to black is a 10 to 1 gap in margin, and like I said, he's stating facts. Can't deny the facts he's stating. So
that wealth is based on home ownership. Most of the white middle class wealth is centered on their home ownership. We don't own homes. We need to have a president who understands that, who can look beyond all the rhetoric and see that that's a fundamental problem that we have to address. Secondly, Mike Bloomberg said he will create 1 million black-owned businesses. 1 million, that creates an economy, a robust economy. He will invest $70 billion directly into the black community. No other president, no other candidate, no other president has ever promised to invest $70 billion in the African American community.
So I think I would agree with that. No other person has pledged to invest that much into the black community, specifically saying it. First of all, I don't believe him. Secondly, Bernie Sanders will invest a lot more in the community through means like, so it's the difference between, in my opinion, this is the difference between giving a man a fish and teaching him how to fish, right? You know what I mean? So, you know, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, right? You know, we all know that old adage. And it's the same thing, you know. What's more important is setting up the infrastructure and you know, say making sure aren't those racial barriers for us to succeed in life, you know. So like I said, I agree with the substance of what he's saying, but how he's saying it, or should I say the things he's saying it, that Bloomberg, I don't believe him that Bloomberg will do any of this for us. I don't believe him at all. Like I said, we'll get into that in a second, but I really want to listen to what this guy says.
And he will help Dr. West and I deal with this issue of the criminal justice system. We're going to correct that issue. We're going to make sure that that criminal justice system is fair. You know, but on that, in terms of criminal justice, I have to say one thing. You know, look, Cornel and I, we understand about racial profiling. I have been against racial profiling all my adult life. I am against, and I have to use this term from the 60s. I am against racist dog, pig, policemen operating in our community in a lawless way. Now, that's not to say the whole departments in these across the nation. Actually,
so now he's arguing that he's against the racist police, but there's still some good cops. Basically, is what he's getting to now. It's getting harder for me to. I've watched this 3 times now, and I'm barely understanding it myself, y'all. So, but the gist, I don't even know if I want to keep letting him talk because it's just that bad to me right now. I don't even, this is terrible. This is terrible. But just what he's saying is he's actually a co-chair of Bloomberg's campaign, and he's explaining why he supports him. All that's well and good. I want to get into his history because I think it matters. So his politics, man. He ran for a seat on the Chicago City Council, the first of several black militants to seek political office, and was defeated. Rush's allies in the Black Power movement abandoned the Democrats in the wake of the political turmoil that followed the sudden death in 1987 of Chicago's first black mayor. So, obviously there was a black mayor that was, I'm sorry, I didn't even transition, y'all. I'm trying to DJ and do this at the same time, if you feel me, right? So, but, so he ran, the first black mayor was murdered in Chicago, or the sudden death. He wasn't murdered. It says sudden death. Maybe it was a heart attack, right? But the guy's name was Harold Washington, and they formed their own party, naming it after the late mayor. Rush infuriated Harold Washington party leaders by spurning their candidates for local offices and on occasion backing white Democrats instead. So basically, black people had started their own party in Chicago, and this guy, a former Black Panther, former founder, don't forget that, co-founded the Illinois chapter, right? Former co-founder of the Black Party, Black Panther Party in Illinois. He completely just ignored, the will of his people, our people, right? And Rush worked with regular Democrats and was rewarded with the deputy chairmanship and the state party. So I guess trying to play devil's advocate, in their system, getting some people within that system is definitely wanted. But it seems the way he went about it, I definitely am against, man. I am really I right now think we should start our own party. And, I'm not necessarily saying that no other race should or could get into it, but we need a third party that, does have the black agenda as an actual agenda, because all this, people of color stuff, it's not, no disrespect to any other my people, my fellow brothers and sisters, right? But, we've been here a long time, man, was enslaved, and, there's specific issues that in the black community that need to be addressed that aren't as prevalent in other communities, So for example, even we're the lowest of the minorities, right? Everybody looks down on Hispanic, Asian, whatever, everybody's racist towards blacks, in my opinion. Every group has their race, in every group, they don't like blacks. So in China, there's black people from China. There's black, Chinese people, and they're discriminated against in China, right? Even in the South American countries, right now, if I'm not mistaken, Venezuela, that election that just went through, was it Venezuela? I feel like I'm messing that up. But in one of the South American, I'm pretty sure it's Venezuela. That election went through, and it was very racially motivated. You know what I mean? The party elites they're all on the more Spanish side of that lineage, because if Spain, you go to Spain, they speak Spanish, but they white as this sheet of paper right here. You know what I mean? Like that's, and that's the difference between, the more indigenous people in South America. They obviously were black, straight up black, yeah, man. So I just wanted to call attention to this, man, because this guy's a former Black Panther, and he is co-chair for Bloomberg. Co-chair. It blows my mind, man. And in case you don't know who Bloomberg is, I have a super cut for you. I'm gonna let this whole thing just play out, man. I want you to get the whole vibe of this, man. This is shout out to TYT. They if you trying to get into politics, I think they have their issues, more than them. Of course, get with check the Mikasa Sukasa network, but TYT isn't a terrible source either,
95% of your murderers and murder victims fit one MO. You can just take the description, Xerox it, and pass it out to all the cops. They are male, minorities, 15 to 25. That's true in New York, it's true in virtually every city. And that's where the real crime is. You've got to get the guns out of the hands of the people that get killed.
Enormous cohort of Black and Latino males aged, let's say, 16 to 25 that don't have jobs, don't have any prospects, don't know how to find jobs, don't know what their skill sets are, don't know how to behave in the workplace where they have to work collaboratively.
Mayor Bloomberg says putting fingerprints on Social Security cards would help control the nation's borders and give employers a way to check whether potential hires are legal citizens.
The companies could just run
I'm sorry about that, but no, what I was saying is, Bloomberg, what he just said is very akin to Nazi Germany when they put stars on the Jews' identification cards, basically to keep track of them. So anytime somebody talks about especially marking any kind of people, especially when they're demonizing them, definitely that should be a super red flag for you. So just on that real quick.
run it through a computer, and if you're an undocumented, illegal, they just don't give you the job. And you're not going to come here if you can't get a job.
One of the unintended consequences is people say, oh my God, you are arresting kids for marijuana that are all minorities. Yes, that's true. Why? Because we put all the cops in the minority neighborhoods. Yes, that's true. Why do we do it? Because that's where all the crime is. And the way you get the guns out of the kids' hands is to throw them against the wall and frisk them. And then they say, oh, I don't want that, I don't want to get caught, so they don't bring the gun. They may still have a gun, but they leave it at home.
If you want to know, is somebody a good salesman, give them the job of going to the Midwest and picking a town and selling to that town the concept that some man wearing a dress should be in the locker room with their daughter. If you can sell that, you can sell anything.
You say that you're a big fan of Donald Trump.
Friend of Donald Trump's, he's a New York icon.
You've actually been quoted saying you're a big fan, but let me ask you, do you take him seriously as a presidential candidate, and what do you think of him making such a big deal about the issue of whether or not Barack Obama was born in the United States?
Look, anybody can run for president if you're 35 and an American citizen and born here. The president was born here. This birther issue is more than one person. There's a lot of groups that have glommed onto this. Well, for a long time, people have said there's nothing you can do about it, but the blacks and Latinos score terribly in school testing compared to whites and Asians. If you look at our jails, it's predominantly minorities. If you look at where crime takes place, it's in minority neighborhoods. If you look at...
All right, I genuinely can't even take no more, bro. It's just pissing me off so much right now. But yeah, man, so even deeper than that, even deeper than what's going on here. Hold on one second. Let me close my door. All right. Even with what he's saying right now, I'm sorry, this made me so mad, man. What's crazy is he was a Republican up until about 2018. Maybe it was 2018, I'm pretty sure. He was a Republican. He was a Republican his whole career. You know, he has never voted Democrat. And now all of a sudden, his policies are racist. His policies were ridiculous, you know, and what to make it worse is our party leaders are still allowing him to be in the race. And it really makes me like, I don't know, even let's just say I'm voting for Bernie. Let's just say Bernie Sanders gets the nomination. He, you know, I'm still, even with him becoming president, I am leaning heavily on not voting for any more Democrats. And I'll explain why that is. Because a lot of people will be like, well, why don't you just vote for the ones you like? And it's like, all right, I don't want to even give the party power anymore. Because if they're, yes, ma'am. I don't even want to give them power anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, you know, like what they've been doing is, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What they've been doing is completely ridiculous compared to the, like I think black people vote 90% with Democrats, right? As a voting block, right? And you're okay with somebody like Mike Bloomberg running, and not only are you okay with it, you're allowing, you know, you're really pushing. You want him more than you vote for him before you vote for Bernie Sanders. Nah, so somebody who was, you know, marching with Dr. King, nah, bro, nah, son, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. You know, like I don't want to give any more power to the party due to that. You know what I mean? And that does include, you know, like I may miss out on some good people, I feel like, you know, but until we get these people, like, because like, well, why is Nancy Pelosi not, she should be on every media station. Like, we do not support Bloomberg's, you know, he is not allowed in the party. He does not, you know, represent our views. We hear you with all this apology stuff. We appreciate it. Now let's see some actions. You're a billionaire right now. You don't have to get in the race to help the black community. You can just how about give a bunch of jobs to black? He could have already done so much. He could have already done so much to help the black community, and now he wants to run for president. I don't buy it. And this dude right here, this guy, the fact that he was a Black Panther and he's supporting this dude, you know he's getting paid. I think on average, we riding, so we're gonna look this up right now. We're gonna look it up together. You know, I'm live, forget it. I'm gonna look up how on average how much Bloomberg pays his staffers, because I remember it was something insane. How much does Bloomberg pay staffers? I remember reading it was something crazy. Bloomberg paying organizers $70,000. Don't get me wrong. Get your money, my G. Anybody making that, I mean, I can't knock you making more money, but how about he just pay people this off the rip? Think about it. Billionaire presidential long shot Michael Bloomberg is trying to poach staff from other campaigns with outsized salaries and fancy perks like 3 catered meals a day, an iPhone 11, and MacBook Pro, according to sources. See, he wouldn't have me because I don't even mess with Apple. I think there's, you know, I don't like that green check, blue check BS. I think that's classism, you know what I'm saying? But, I think that's just, you know, I think they're trying to divide us through classes and make people, you know what I'm saying? Like the Android users are the others. And one thing positive about them, they do have much better encryption. You know, maybe that's why they do the blue green check. I didn't even think about that. Either way, I don't like it. But, and also on top of that, I've never really used Apple, so it's just hard for me to use. I guess that's the honest truth. But he is paying state press secretaries $10,000 a month. Oh my God. Yeah, of course they're going out there saying anything. Bro, if I was, I don't know, man. That is crazy. $10,000 a month. Can you imagine going, you know, just getting on his staff and making 10? It's very tempting, you know, I understand. The average going rate is $4,500 for other candidates, and state political directors are making $12,000 a month. So he is more than doubling people's salaries. That's why people are jumping ship. It's crazy, man. National Political Director Carlos Sanchez pulls in $360,000 a year. Kellyanne Conway, she's terrible. Trump's political director made $24,000 in 2016. Every Bloomberg staffer gets a MacBook Pro and iPhone day one. They also enjoy 3K at Amir's Day. I feel like you said that already. Let's see. Yeah, man. He's worth $50 billion, man. And I have to couch, every time I say the word billion, I have to couch it with this, man. So you understand how big a billion truly is. A billion is a shit ton of money, all right? So if you had $1 million and you spent $1,000 a day, that's $30,000 a month. It would take you about 3 years to go through $1 million. That's still a lot of money, especially you spend $1,000 a day, right? If you had $1 billion and you spent $1,000 a day, the exact same, $30,000 a month, it would take you 2,763 years to go through that. That's how much bigger a billion is from a million. So don't think people are like billion, million, no, it's such a big difference. It's like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? You can live for almost 3,000 years at spending $30,000 a month. A billion is so much money, you literally can't spend it. What I mean by that is, let's say if you were to, anything you buy, you can't, anything you buy that's worth too much is also worth something. Like if you bought a yacht, that's an asset, right? There's still value in that. You know what I'm saying? That's, if you buy a mansion, that's an asset. There's, that's worth something, right? To completely get rid of your money, what you got to buy consumable goods mostly, right? And it's so much money. The interest you make, I don't know, I could look that up too, but the amount of interest you would make off of putting that much money in the bank, it doesn't even make sense, man. It's literally too much money to spend. It's too much money. You will die before you spend it. And if you could try to spend it and won't do it, that's how much money it is. Now you explain to me how this guy right here worked 1 billion times harder than you. Maybe you, not me. He ain't work 1 billion times harder than me. I guarantee you. Not smarter either. How smart you got to be to make $1 billion? Why Einstein don't have $1 billion? What the difference is between people like him and Einstein is greed. It's not that he's smart. He's greedy. You know what I'm saying? And also access to opportunity. Because I truly believe with all my heart, anybody watching this, everybody watching this, you are just as, if not 100% more capable than this man to build your own business and have it succeed. I guarantee you. You know what I'm saying? He's not perfect. He didn't make all the right decisions. He just had a lot of safety nets for him, probably born with one, right? And that's the difference, man. And the fact that this dude, again, this guy, Bobby Lee Rush, former Black Panther, is supporting him, man. He's getting paid, and I'm a little torn on that fact, because it's like, get your money. Like I said, we ain't getting no money, and that may be why he believes him, because he's paying him out his pocket. And he's like, he's paying me. He's saying he's putting money in my pocket for my family. He's gonna do it for all of us. I don't believe him, son. I don't believe him, bro. And also on top of that, I don't trust this guy Bobby Lee Rush. I feel like he may have been watch the whole interview, because he talks about how he's saying he lives in the ghetto or whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like he definitely he ain't from where I'm from. Let's put it like that. You know what I mean? And I want to represent people like, I got my homeboy J-Mac, man. Shout out to you, brother. I love you to death, man. But you know what I'm saying, this guy, man, he's an outstanding dude. I'm telling you, he works hard. I promise you. I've gotten him multiple jobs. He works hard. He's consistent. He saves money better than I do. Saves money way better than I do. This dude, I admire a lot of the things he does. Can never get a job. They will not hire this man. He has a real strong Southern drawl. He's not up for that code switching like they want him to do. He doesn't necessarily have the exact capabilities. He makes them nervous, right? So he doesn't get that opportunity. He doesn't speak like I speak. You know what I'm saying? And people don't like how I talk even. So it's wild, man. Let me check this on. A lot of Black Panthers sold out. I'm sorry, this is Morgan Carey. Shout out. What's going on? Said a lot of Black Panthers sold out in the end. COINTELPRO definitely sorted out who was the weakest links and exploited them. Very sad. No, agreed, man. It's this is making me, conspiracy theory paranoid. It's like, what if this guy was a plant the whole time? You know what I'm saying? Think about it, right? What if the CIA planted, because Black Panther started, if I'm not mistaken, in LA, what if they planted him from the jump to start the party, to have the party under control from rip. I know that's left. I have no evidence of that, but I don't trust none of this, man. I can't, maybe because I can't imagine how you coming from, if you say, he says he's from where I'm from. There's no way that you feel that way and support somebody like Bloomberg. You know what I mean? That you've been through something like I've been through it and you support somebody like Bloomberg. It's not possible, so I don't know. It blows my mind, so I feel like I'm blowing out my audio. I'm sorry, y'all. But, so yeah, man, but this guy is just, he's terrible. He's terrible, man. Like, we got to get the old guards out. And I'm speaking to the classism in our community, right? So, and the black community, there's a whole lot of classism. And what I mean by that, like I was talking about J-Mac, this guy works hard. They won't give him a chance. And even leaders like this dude won't give him a chance, because, they feel like he make him look bad because he's from the hood. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like he shouldn't have to switch up to their liking, listen to what he said, not how he said it, right? Dude has value to add, you know what I'm saying? And he's not being accepted from even people like him, right? And that's, and if you can't make it past the barriers of your own people, you would never make it out. It kills me, man. It kills me, and this is just another example of it. This is why I don't think I'm voting, I'm definitely not going to stop voting, but I'm looking at a different party, Green Party. There's this this two-party duopoly has to be taken down because they're just two sides of the same coin. We all know that's why, most people don't vote. Most people don't vote, like, and if you don't vote, you're not special, right? You know what I'm saying? You're actually a normie, like, so you might want to get out there and get active. We got Morgan Carey said one more time, we have to learn not to use the term conspiracy theory. It is and has always been a tool of the establishment to silence and divide the truth tellers. Very true. Very, very true. I cannot deny that is a fact. In fact, I think that term was coined by the CIA to tamper down on these thoughts. So you're right. Appreciate you calling me out on that, for real. But yeah, man, this dude Bobby Rush is terrible, man. He kick rocks, for real, son. Like I said, I love my people, man. And there's something else I like to bring to people's attention is the idea of glorifying gangsters. And what I mean by that is, you've seen The Irishman, good movie. I actually agree. You know what I mean? I think it was like up for an Oscar. It might have won or not. I never even try to look it up. I don't know. I don't watch the Oscars, right? But even more than that, you have classics like Casino, Goodfellas, Godfather. What do all these things have in common? They were all gangsters, bro. They were all thugging out here. You know what I mean? But they're accepted and actually revered within broader populace and community context, right? And I feel like and the reason for that is, well, if you notice, black people, we're not allowed to glorify our gangsters. You know what I'm saying? It's not at all allowed. You know what I mean? And what I think it is you can go into a lot more nuances about why that is and this, that, but at the end of the day, the simple fact is the idea when you see a young black man out there, no shirt on, sagging his pants, you know what I'm saying? You get a visceral reaction different than when you see that white guy over there in a suit and tie, but who has probably murdered, you know what I'm saying, way more people, you know what I mean? And like, it's the idea of it, it's crazy. Like somebody like they look at my boy J-Mac terribly, like, oh, this guy's terrible. But, except somebody like Martin Shkreli, who upped the price of some life-saving medication by like 3,000%, and which literally can, kill, will kill way more people. The homie ain't never killed nobody, you know what I mean? But he actually, the decisions he made will kill somebody, you know what I'm saying? And he's still accepted. Why? Because he looks like he could be your cousin, your son, a friend or nephew, right? It's like I said, and it's because we're forced to code switch, and the code switching is a one-way street. What I mean by code switching, I'm gonna look that up for you too, because I've spoken on this a few times, but I'm gonna keep harping on this point because I think it matters, and it's the only way. It's one of the things like that definitely keep our community down. It's the fact that we have to embrace our own community. You know what I mean? And the things like the crime and stuff isn't tied to the culture. That's a myth. You know what I mean? Just like it's not tied to Italian culture. You know what I mean? They were thugging hard, right? You know what I mean? Gangsters. They chilling now, right? It's because they were allowed to be legit. They were allowed to, build legal within legal bounds. And what a lot of people don't know also is the mobs and stuff like that were big in the Prohibition era, right? And the reason for that was it's kind of like the cartels today. Like there's cartels in Mexico, and those are spurred on. They're funded by the illegal drugs, right? And then back in the day, those mafias were funded by illegal alcohol. So and that's where murders and stuff come from. Because let's say if you have a dispute with a rival company, which is not what we call them, but they be gangs if they're illegal, right? Same tomato, man. The only thing different is the force of law. That's it. That's the only thing separating them two. You know what I mean? And in the streets, there's no going to court and being you don't have the force of a centralized government behind you. You know what I'm saying? You have to you settle it in the streets, and that's what they did back in the day. That's why there was all those murders. That's why the mafia was so gangster when they were allowed to go, when alcohol was legalized. Those mobs, those organizations really died out, along with wiretapping helped. But those organizations really tampered down because of that. They lost their funding. This is why if we legalize, tax, and regulate not just marijuana but all drugs, in my opinion, I think it would really put an end to the whole cartel issue too, right? But this code switching, and like I said, because they'd be able to settle their differences in court instead of in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But code switching in linguistics is code switching or language alternation occurs when a speaker alternates between two or more languages or language varieties in the context of a single conversation. So basically, like I said, if you were Hispanic, you spoke Spanish at home, but you went out to like school and spoke English at school. That's code switching, because you're not using the dialect you use at home at school, right? So that concept is the exact same concept. You can that's a macro scale. On a micro scale, it's akin to me, it's akin to me going out and trying to get a job and being like, hi, my name's Marcellus, nice to meet you. But when I'm at the house, when I'm at home, I'm like, what's good, brother? It's good to see you, man. Nice to meet you. That'd be how I greet somebody on the street. Like, how's it going, brother? Nice to meet you. But so a lot of you some people hearing this would be like, I have no problem with that, because you're an actual regular human being. You're not a suit and tie. You're not one of those people at the top, looking down on people. Those people hear me and think totally different. Morgan Carey. I'm sorry, I'm talking. My sister Carol said, "Get the stepping." Morgan Carey said, "We have been trained to auto cannibalize house/field, and because of the war on education, we haven't embraced the lessons of our history. So we pull apart rather than come together." Real talk, man. And like it's the classism. It's really, I think it all goes into code switching. We wanting to be accepted in their community instead of being like, whoa, we have things that we have value to offer. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like when I was standing in line to vote, I saw two white boys. Hey, what's up, brother? That's how they met. That's how they greeted each other. It's like that's mine. You know what I mean? But it's cool. But if you were to see two brothers, walking down the street, sagging, and you probably think something of them, even though you got that from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's like, all right, you take from the culture, but you still shun it. You know what I mean? And we allow that to happen by demonizing the lowest of us. You know what I'm saying? You're only as strong as your weakest link. You know what I mean? Like we can't just, you know what I'm saying? We can't throw away some people call them Pookies and Ray Rays, and there's just Ratchet, whatever you want to call it. Nah, them's my hood, whatever you want to. Those my people, bro. You know what I'm saying? I love all of them. You know what I'm saying? I love the bright color wearing, gold teeth having. You know what I'm saying? That's my culture, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's, we can't allow them to demonize that. We can't allow it. What we can demonize is the actual illegal part. Yeah, for sure. No robbing, killing, drug. I don't even want screwed on the drug dealing, bro. Get your money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying sell drugs, but I'm not even going to demonize that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to sell drugs, hire him then. Just don't talk to him, hire him, because he's gonna do a good job. Forget that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's, like I said, it's stuff like this. Stuff, people like him perpetuate stuff like that to me. You know what I mean? Bloomberg, you heard what he said. He obviously perpetuates these issues, and nobody on my progressive, I love my progressive media. We got the Damage Report with, what is this guy's name? I don't know why I'm blanking. I know his name. whatever. We have the Damage Report and the Michael Brooks Show. These guys, they speak on subjects that I love. I agree with their takes. The problem is, again, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, there's still that that you got to be the right type of black. You got to be this guy. You know what I mean? To be accepted, you got to be him, right? You got to play the game. You got to toe the line to be accepted in even progressive circles. You know what I mean? And, it's just, it takes, it takes, before we can even ask white people you can walk and chew gum at the same time. So you can also ask white people to change it, but we got to change it within our community too, excuse me. Cause it's just ridiculous, man. Like, and I said, I come across this cause like as a young black man, this is why I come out here. This is why I come on here. Like, I don't, we putting the rings on, wrist on chill, because it's my culture. You know what I mean? Hip hop is my culture. I don't know nothing about Africa. No disrespect to any Africans. It's all love, but I was born here. My mom was born here. Her mom was born here. Her mom was born here. We've been here longer than a lot of white people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not African American. I'm Black American. No respect. I just don't know nothing about Africa. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know anything about Africa. They stripped all that from me, but we created our own culture here. You know what I mean? And I love that culture. You know what I'm saying? I love that culture. I love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's negatives and goods to everything. But like I said, white people glorify their gangsters. We shun ours. Think about it. Think about it. You know why? Because another example of that is the TV show Sopranos. It's one of my favorite shows, and I got into an argument with somebody one time, and well, if you get into argument, people that some people are like, it's a terrible show. He's a terrible person. He's just murderer. He's a murderer. What is there to like about this guy? You can find good qualities because he was a good family man. If you watch the show, he cared about his family. There was, the mob, they, they preached loyalty, respect. There's still positives is what I'm saying in that culture. You get what I'm saying? And white people choose to focus on the positives of their gangster life. You know what I mean? When ours, they choose to focus on the negatives versus, like somebody, I know a lot of people that I used to be out here thugging, and one of the things I took from the streets is that no hesitation, that, by any means necessary, go get it, work hard attitude, man. And I promise you, I've been the hardest working person. I've never not been the hardest working person everywhere I've ever worked. And what I mean by that is people are, when I say that, people like to say, well, you got to work smarter, not harder. It's like, pause on that. First of all, very smart dude. I'm not picking up one, I'm not picking up one bag, setting it down, picking up another bag, setting it down. No, I understand efficiency, and I like to take initiative, right? I'm just really good at what I do. I am very smart, and I'm 6'7", so I just move faster than you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to work I'm going to work harder, better, and faster than you everywhere. It's no comparison. Not yet. Until somebody proves me otherwise, right? And don't mean nothing. Ain't got me nowhere in life. Nowhere. You know what it is? I don't have I need the opportunity. If you give me the opportunity, then I'm going to shine. But there's a glass ceiling over my head. Because why? Because I'm not a good blackie. I don't toe this line. You get what I'm saying? And I refuse to, I refuse to. It's not, how I look, how I dress does not change anything, And like I said, man, I just wanted to feel like this was a good opportunity to speak on this issue and get on his ass for a second, because this is disgusting, bro. The fact that he is for the Bloomberg campaign and stuff like this. Like I say, he's a Democratic representative. Yeah, man. I don't know if I can vote for it. Like the whole party as a whole, and that's why I don't want the party to have any more power. I don't want the party to have any more power if the leaders are backing people like, because he's a quote unquote leader. He has. I'm pretty sure his word has sway in the party, but he toes a specific line. You know what I mean? And I'm not with that at all, man. It's disgusting, man. Like I said, we got to stop code switching, bro. We got to stop. We have to let it's a one-way street. Have they ever come to your neighborhood and really, and what I mean by code switching, I'm not saying that white people have to start talking like this. That's dumb. It means I can just be authentic myself around you. I don't have to change my shit up just to make you comfortable. You know what I mean? Because white people don't do it. They don't change nothing up. Man, you know what makes me uncomfortable? Golf clothes. Them high ass shorts. Your legs be two colors. It freaks me out. I don't like it. It offends me. Does anybody care about how I feel about it? No. We got to get along just fine. It's cool then. You know what I mean? The fact you wearing sandals. Why your feet out, brother? Put them things away. You know what I'm saying? that's a white thing. You know what I mean? I can't stand it, you know, but it's, you get what I'm saying? You know, they don't code switch for me. You know, we got to stop. We have to put our foot in the sand. Like I said, don't listen to what I'm saying. You know, appreciate you. Don't listen to what I said, not how I said it, right? And that's the issue. That's the biggest issue I have with them, man. It's this code switching, man, is, I think, one of a deeper issue we have, and it helps separate us by class from within our community. You know, we got to get the old guard out of there. People, like, you know, young black, especially women. I've been preaching this. 2020 is the year of the woman. I'm be honest with you, I got a record. You know what I mean? I ain't running for office. They gonna dig up some crazy stuff on me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about all that. But if you are, you know, you women that made good decisions, didn't get in trouble with the law, because, you know, they target, you know, us black men, right? They target black women too, but they target black men crazy. So, you know, a lot of us ain't got no chance. A lot of brothers can't even vote. You know what I mean? But if you have that opportunity to run for office, man, you don't have to. It's not. You can just be in city council. A lot of these positions people don't realize is, you know, they help your life in ways much more than you would think, right? You know, you meet. Because a lot of you, what's the adage? It's not what you know, it's who you know, which is still ridiculous. But, you know, you meet people, you meet good people, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of corrupt people too, but there are good people in politics. You meet people that have that have those opportunities you can use, and it's really part time. It's not like you go in every day and gotta like work on stuff. It's like a lot of politicians work like 3 or 4 months out the year on their actual, you know, politicking. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, you know, ladies, get in office for me. You know, help your brother out, man. Help out my boy J Mac, man. Let's run for office. I'm gonna vote for you, girl. You know what I'm saying? Or do, you know, you know, brothers run too, man. You know what I'm saying? Be authentically you, and ain't no need to don't code switch for them though. That's what I say, man. Represent us for us. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you gonna meet me. You know what I'm saying? Meet me where I'm at. You know, and that's where we have to get back. We have to get there. We have to get there, man. Because it's getting dire at this point, and people do not see and or realize it. And you know, I'm just I'm getting awfully tired of this, man. I'm getting awfully tired of stuff like this, man. And like I said, the fact that the Democrat Party, I cannot believe that they support somebody like Bloomberg, bro, after the things he said. I promise you, if he was they wouldn't do it if I don't know, man. It's just, I can't even say what I was going to say, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, they're basically, you know, Republican light anyway, you know. Let me say, Carol said, that's what I feel about the Snoop / G King issue. I feel he was really starting to break ground with the real issue with black women versus black men. Yeah, man, I think a lot of that's manufactured more than people understand. So I think our people, all right, I'm about to get on for a rabbit hole, and I probably should get off after this in a second. So there's a lot of contradictions within our community. Oh, sorry, hold on. She also said, but everyone demonized how he said it so much. Yeah. Everything else was lost. Forget what he said. How about the things he did? Yeah. No, agreed. No, yeah. You're talking about Bloomberg. Exactly. No, exactly. I agree with you. And to Carol, what's the Snoop and Gayle King situation? I don't even like the point of demonizing what he said about it. Whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever on, you know, what Snoop said, you know. And I think there is a manufactured strife between black men and black women. I think it's more so the classism thing. Like I said, there are black people who are ashamed of that other side. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my side, the people, the lowest of us that I choose to represent. You know what I'm saying? There are people that are ashamed of that. That's what we have to target. That's the problem. It's like, nah. Everybody, it's like, even with the new, you know, young generation of hip hop, people are like, hey, rap used to be this. It's like, I mean, well, it's not now. You know, I got them youngins back. You know what I mean? It's all good. Come up here and shine, young king. You know what I mean? Like that's how we have to get. We have to get to that. You know, it's white people. They ain't doing that to each other. If you notice, they ain't doing that. You know, all these communities are unified in those senses, and you know, the same old preaching. You know, support black businesses, buy black, all that kind of stuff. You know. But that's what matters, man. And like, to your point with Mike Bloomberg, yeah, what he did, the stop and frisk, you know, it's more than that too. You know what I'm saying? Like he even supported redlining. Who knows the type of issues he, you know, like this is all the stuff that's just at light, you know, like I used to get in trouble. I did dirt. I didn't get caught for this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I did some crazy things that I never got caught for. So I know I know for a fact there's some wild stuff that we'll never find out about him for that very reason. You know what I mean? So I can't, man. I refuse to vote. Like, the more I think about it, the more set in stone I think, like, no, man, I cannot give this party any power at all until we get them all out. I want change so bad, I'm willing to sacrifice Bernie. I love Bernie, bro. I love Bernie. I really do. But if change meant getting every single person who actually, Bernie's independent, so he might be okay. Better stay independent, Bernie, because the minute you turn Democrat, you on the list too for me, man. It's the party, you know what I mean? It's the apparatus of the party that's the problem. You know? If we got, only way I would stay Democrat is if we got every single person. Man, the problem is, I get that. It's kind of like, you know, if somebody gets shot and killed, and somebody shot and killed somebody out of a car, you all in the car, guess what? You all go to jail, right? But you want to tell me it's different for politics? I don't care, man. I want everybody out the party, bro. All y'all need to go. You know what I mean? And even if you've been fighting for me this whole time, I appreciate it, man. We need to change all this up. Sorry. Life's not fair. You know, my mom died when I was 17. I got shot 3 days before I was supposed to go to the Navy. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, life ain't fair. You need to go too. Everybody out. You know? Like, we're not playing this, bro. And it needs to get to a point of, don't get apathetic. Like, you got to care, because this is really what matters. This is what matters, man. Making those changes in your life that, you know, getting a part of the decision-making process is what I'm saying. Hold on, let's check out Warren Carroll one time. He turned Democrat when he campaigned for Hillary Rodham Clinton. You mean Bloomberg, right? That sounds about right. Yeah, man, I don't trust this dude. As far as he's been Republican his whole, when he was doing the stop and frisk and stuff, he was Republican. Like I said, I've been literally 3 months. This is a God honest true story. 3 months before I moved out here to Austin, and when I was in Houston, one of the main reasons why I packed up and just left. You know, I was walking to the store, about to go get cigars. You know, that's just, I didn't have nothing illegal on me, nothing. I was walking to the store. I don't have a car at the time. You know what I mean? So I just walked to the store. I got stopped by the police. It threw me up on the car. This isn't my first rodeo. So I let them pat me down. Then they tell me to take my shirt off. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna get my ass whipped by the police. You know what I'm saying? From Houston, you know what I'm talking about. I was just like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? What you know, if we'll see what happens. So they start taking pictures of my tattoos, and I have a tree on my arm. It's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. There's even a scripture on it, right? But dude sees it, and he's like, oh, so you're a treetop Pyru, right? It's like, I know what that means, but I was just like, no, I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, sure you are. We know all about you. That was his exact, I'll never forget it. I'm just looking at this dude like, are you fucking serious? But that's the type, that's his mentality. You heard what he said. You know what I'm saying? They just see me. I'm chilling, bro. At the time I was 24. I work like a slave, bro. That's all I do. I don't go out and drink. I don't do. This is what I do. You see what I do. You know what I mean? I did it back then too. I just stay informed. That's all I did, man. They don't care. Like I said, man, it's because we allow them to demonize people like me, and I'm not for it no more. Hold on real quick. Let me see. Morgan Carey, she's going back into it. Forget what he said about one of the things he did. Yes, he turned to a Democrat when he was campaigning. HRC. Oh, Bernie. Yeah, no. He turned Democrat when he campaigned for Clinton. Yeah. I don't trust him, man. I mean, not him. You know what I'm saying? It's the party, you know? I'm saying that I don't trust Bernie to stand up for us now. He's become establishment. Yeah, Bloomberg is definitely Satan. DNC, mad corrupt. Exactly. I'm with you, bro. That's where I'm at, man. Let's just get real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know, like, I don't, when it comes to who we got, like, at the end of the day, nobody is truly for us black people. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is nobody really has your best interests at heart. Get deep. I'm gonna get real deep for you. If you've ever dated somebody outside your race, especially Asian, Indian, something like that, right? It's probably cool, but their parents, 9 times out of 10, were racist, right? What does that mean? That's one gen. It's 2020. You know, and we pretend like this is this, and it's still like that right now. What does that mean? Think about the deeper implications of what that means. I'm telling you that these other communities, all of them, to a certain extent, because we like to single out white people, like even the ones we call our you know, people of color that are our brothers and sisters, they still look down on you. They view themselves higher than you. Still, you know what I mean? You know, and not everybody, obviously. I'm just gonna say that one last time, because there's no need for me to keep giving that goddamn, you know, context, right? But they look down on us still. You know what I'm saying? Only white faces and hair on that debate stage. Now, yeah, man, it's ridiculous, man. It's that exact, bro. When I was listening to them, you know, trying to throw us a bone about, it's like, you don't even know my stroke, bro. I don't need you to fix my problems. You know what I'm saying? I need you to get out my way. You know what I mean? I got this. I know I get real passionate about this, man. This subject, because like I said, like, and why I notice it is, I do my homework, mad homework. And like, I didn't go to college. I just love learning. I love politics. This is what I do, you know, like this is what I do, you know? And even the people in our community, bro, people that, you know, like the classism divide, they don't take me serious. They don't take me serious in our community, bro, because of the way I dress. And then that's what made me realize, like, oh, wow, that's crazy, you know? So y'all not even listening to me, but they listen to a white boy. We have to really change up what we're doing, man. Yeah, exactly, Carol. We focus on the wrong thing, man. Like, you know, like that brother that, you know what I'm saying, that's running the streets talking crazy, looking crazy, you know, man, look, it's not the culture. It's because he was dirt damn poor. You know what I mean? He doesn't have opportunity. I guarantee you, bro, my homie right now selling weed, you know what I'm saying, to make it in Houston, bro. I got a few of them, you know. I'm not gonna name them, of course, but bro, if you would have asked them, you know, if you would have walk up on them and be like, hey, I have this job for you, $15 an hour, or do you want to keep selling weed on the block? I guarantee you, I'd put my left nut on the fact that just at $59, that's the bare minimum. You know what I mean? That's what I want, minimum wage. They'd be like, yeah, this way. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to have that fear of going to jail and stuff. It's they don't have that opportunity. And one thing is, you're not finna have me, bro. My boy, we ain't stupid out here, bro. You're not finna pay me $7.25 to slave for you, bro. I'm finna go back to the block. Nah, I'm good, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we gotta, that's the issue, man. They need, you know, they have lack of access to opportunity, bro. That's the problem. It's not the culture. It's not the culture, you know? Like, most people usually, most people just want to chill, you know, have sex with their partner and watch some Netflix. Get high, maybe, you know? And that's black, white, or otherwise, straight up, you know what I mean? That's humans, you know? Like, ain't nobody worried about that other crazy stuff, man, you know? And we just gotta, as a community, we have to stop demonizing. We have to stop looking down on the lowest of us, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. And that even goes to America. You know what I'm saying? America's gonna, if we keep on, you know, if they keep on stepping on us, like, we're only as strong as your weakest link. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, it starts with us, you know, but even the way we're trying to do it is wrong. And, you know, then I'm gonna leave you with this thought. You know, I know possibly some of us watching are Christian and stuff, so I pray I don't offend you. I promise. I just want to drop this seed, and hopefully it grows and prospers into something. We spend all this time, you know, hollering about Jesus and all this kind of stuff, and also saying we need to get back to our African roots, but we still demonize voodoo. Think about that. Right. Think about that idea, what I just told you. We talk about getting back to our African roots, but you think voodoo is the work of the devil. Right? Voodoo has become part of a modern folklore, because it's not even called voodoo. It's actually called voodooan. About to blow y'all mind, hopefully. Hopefully I wake some people up out here, man. So what is voodoo? Voodoo is a religion that originates in Africa. Originates in Africa, man. And the Americans and the Caribbean, it is thought to be a combination of various African, Catholic, Native American traditions passed around. Has no scripture or world authority. I need to start looking into this. You know, think about that idea, y'all. Think about that. You know, that's not saying God doesn't exist. I think that argument, whether God's real or not is irrelevant to the nature of God. You know what I'm saying? That's what's more important. Let's think about it. You know, like, is God actively working on things, or is God and already had a plan, set his plan in motion and step back? And, if you're made in his image, calls by our names, made us creators, right? And we create heaven or hell here on earth. That's how I look at it, That's why I get active. I'm like, oh, I create the better future that I want. I can't sit there, hoping and praying, And like I said, just think about this, man. Just anytime, there's so much propaganda going around, man, and you'd be surprised on what parts of it you have fallen victim to, So I think I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know how long I've been going for, so I appreciate everybody. I got you, Morgan. I got you. We don't play this, man. But I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Check out the live stream. Super Tuesday. Hopefully y'all went out there and voted. Hopefully you did your research and voted. That's the more important part, right? More important than going to work, more important than going and slaving for these people, is making sure you do, and not just white people, just the elites, right? Make sure you are part of the process that decides the rules you have to live your life by. Because regardless of whether you like politics or not, there are people making decisions that you have to live by, or they will take your freedom from you. Don't you want to be a part of that? Like, I don't know, man. I'm on team. Like, let me in that room. What y'all talking about? What you talking about, man? I'm not dumb, so I'm not scared to hear any. You can't just lie to me. I was locked up. They locked me up in Harris County Jail for 2 years of my life. I sat in there because I couldn't bail out. And in that tank, there were 42 bunks, 42 people that lie to you constantly. There's just people just, trying to get over on you, trying to get, soups and just trying to come up in jail, right? So I got real good at ciphering through bullshit. I have an automatic bullshit detector, and I'm not scared to get any of those circles, man. And that's another reason why we need to, we need to lift up a lot more of our people, our low in the community, because I feel like there's some wisdom there that we're really lacking in the mainstream, man. But I'm gonna leave it there, man. I appreciate y'all again for coming by, listening to me. I should have went bigger, full screen. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to figure out how to DJ the whole thing and still stay on topic. But we're gonna get better with this, man. Like I said, man. Hopefully y'all went out and voted, and regardless of what happens, we need to make some changes, man. So I'm gonna leave it there.